Good morning and happy Friday, guys. This is Meg at Chasing Retro, and I am on today to show you just a little bit of a glimpse of where I am on the Sesame Street journals. I have been cutting like it's my full-time job. I have cut so many fussy cuts out. Let me show you this tray. I really need to reorganize these by size. They used to be organized by size and they are not anymore. And then I have this little dish of just words, including words that I typed out on the typewriter. That's cute. That's just a little scrap I need to find a place for. Whenever I have scraps and cutoffs that don't have a place, that are not, journaling card appropriate or not appropriate, but there's no Sesame Street character in here, but it's still Sesame Street. So I put it in a pile and I'm going to do a master board at some point. That might be something fun to do while I watch television or something. And then I can make more ephemera from that. But what I've been doing for the past 24 hours or so is going through and cutting journaling card sized squares and rectangles to turn into journaling cards. Some of these will be shaker cards because I am going to put a shaker card in each journal. So yeah, all of these have to be backed with cardstock or file folder and then sewn, because I usually almost always sew my journaling cards. So crazy, huh? Yeah, 11 journals, no joke. I got this glue because these glue sticks that I have, I'm not a fan of, the small ones, and I wish I had gotten the big ones, but I didn't. But then I was talking to, I think it was Carrie the Paper Monkey, and she likes the purple glue, and I was like, I've never used the purple glue, but I bet that would be so much easier, because normally to see if I have a whole area covered, I have to lean over and look at the shiny reflection in a lamp, but if I had this, it's going to be a lot easier. So I hope these work well. They were a really good price, and people raved about them in the reviews. So if you guys use this glue stick, let me know how it is. I'll report back as well. Okay, let me show you a couple of the things I've worked on to go in these. I don't want to show you everything because I'm leaving some of the things I put in these to be a surprise. So I'll show you some things, but not all. I went through my vintage Sesame Street magazines, and anyone that had a game either in it or on the back cover, I cut it out. And so they're dual-sided. They're all dual-sided. So these will just be tucked into the journals as ephemera, and you can use them as you want to. There's some plain shapes in here. There's little images of rooms inside and outdoors. Really cute. Okay, so that's one thing that I did. I salvaged the game pieces. This is what I worked on for probably a couple of days this week. I'm very excited about this, y'all. I made felt piecing characters. I guess that's what you would call it, felt. It's like paper piecing, but I used felt. And what I did was, to get the shapes right and the scale right, I went to free coloring pages online, just Googled free coloring page, Big Bird, whatever. And I printed them. I scaled them to what I wanted them to be size-wise. Then I printed them, and then I traced each individual part that I knew would be a piece separately. So I took plain white paper and I laid it over the coloring sheet, and I just kept moving it around and tracing different parts of the face. I hope that is explaining it well. Then I went through and labeled who and what part of the face each was and cut them out, and I used these as templates. And I cut out felt. Now, I bought my felt at Hobby Lobby, and some of the felt was this premium low pile felt, and I honestly wish I had this for all of them, but they didn't have all the colors I needed. So, and this was a larger sheet, but it was $1 a sheet versus 25 cents for the smaller one. So I don't know. If they had had other colors, I would have gotten more. They only had yellow and this. I mean, it was an Oscar green. I had to get it. The only other green they had was a bright lime green in the high pile felt, and I did not want that. So I will tell you that I used Fabri-Tac for this, and it was so hard. It stuck to my fingers and not to the felt. The felt would not stick on the felt. And then I tried using tweezers, and it ended up sticking to the tweezers, and I wanted to scream, especially on the pupils. They would just not stick to the felt. And I was worried that they wouldn't stick at all, but I left them alone, and a day later now, they are stuck hard. So even though it looked like they weren't going to stick, I think they're going to hold. I did not have any pink felt, so I used a vintage quilting square that was sort of a loose weave pink, and I think that works out really well for the tongues. Most of them had a pink center to their mouth. So Big Bird's eyelids are supposed to be light blue, but they didn't have light blue felt, so dark blue it is. But I just think they turned out so adorable. In a perfect world, I would have also gone around and sewn them down like applique. But at this point, it took me so long to do just this part. I was like, you know what, this is going to be fine. And not sewing allows the back to be completely writable also. So let me show you the other characters that I did. This material, you could use tin foil if you are making these, but this was actually a static-free, like a static-free cling bag that my son had some electronic parts delivered in. He does computer, he tinkers with electronics. So he gets these static-free bags a lot when he orders components, and it was perfect for a trash can because it's it's malleable. I could write on it with a Sharpie. I just think it's so cute. And his little face. Okay, so I didn't have brown felt either, so I had to get creative. This is a piece of upholstery sample, and it's the only brown that I had, believe it or not. Most of the other ones are, blue and purple and red. But I had one brown piece. I think I used a lot of it for the teddy bear journals, honestly, because this was all I had left. And then I have Ernie. Cute. Cookie, and I made a cookie for him out of some more upholstery samples. Ideally, Cookie would have sort of a cerulean color, not a royal blue, but this is the only blue felt I could find, but he still looks like Cookie Monster. Here's another Big Bird, and another Oscar, and another Cookie. I did one Grover, and he has an upholstery nose that's like velvet, or like a brushed suede. It's very fun to touch his nose. And I did one Kermit, because Kermit he was on Sesame Street. I don't know that he was ever on the street with the other characters, but he was in some segments. And Bert, of course. My cat's over there talking. Hey, Mittens. So I decided to give Bert a turtleneck because he just looked more complete with a turtleneck. Very excited about these. That was a lot of fun to do. Honestly, I felt kind of like a kindergarten teacher putting all those together. All right, another thing that I did, you might remember that I ordered a vintage crib sheet from eBay. And I cut out individual characters, or they're all Big Bird, but I cut out individual scenes and glued them down to yellow cardstock and then sewed around them. And it's a little bit faded, but it just adds to the charm of being vintage. This is probably late 70s, early 80s, this crib sheet. And there's some adorable scenes in here. The journaling cards, I just kind of went with the shape that I had to cut the thing out with. And so they're very random. The shapes are not perfectly round or square or whatever. So every journal will get one of those. And then, of course, one of the best ways to use full color, completely filled illustrated pages is to make envelopes out of them. So there is one music envelope in here, and I decorated it with Elmo. So these these are all sized according to the size journals that I have. So each journal will get one. And the other things I can't show you because I want them to be a surprise. Still working today on these. My daughter is coming home from camp. She was a counselor at a church camp, so I'm picking her up today. But other than that, I plan to work all day on these and get a huge chunk of them finished. I mean, decorated and filled. Also, I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not I want to finish 2 or 3 at a time for those of you who are waiting on one, and get those finished and out the door and then move to the next 2 or 3. Or do I want to wait until all 11 are done and do a gigantic, I guess, what do they call it? Drop on Etsy. The ones that are reserved, of course, but also the 3 that will be for sale and up for grabs. Just put them all in the shop at once. I cannot decide. I don't know which one would be easier, honestly. I feel like both of those options have a lot of things going for them. So if you guys have any strong preferences, especially those of you who have been patiently waiting for these, let me know. These are going to be very tactile, very interactive. I'm excited to show you all the rest of the surprises that I have up my sleeve for them. But I just wanted to come on really quickly and show you guys that I am still here and I'm still working. And a lot of this would be boring if I turned on the camera to show, because it's literally today is just gluing, cutting, sewing, gluing, cutting, sewing. But I cannot wait to do the flip throughs. These truly are a labor of love, and they are going to be so fun. I really hope everyone enjoys them and loves them, and it brings up wonderful childhood memories for you, or memories of your children. So stay tuned. Be patient with me. Thanks so much for being patient thus far, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully soon. Bye, guys.